In July 2020, I made a change that would significantly impact my life forever. I decided I wanted to be a teacher. This raised eyebrows because many people thought I was destined for greater, which for them is synonymous with being a doctor or a lawyer, and I would be wasting my time in the underappreciated teaching profession. But do you know that there is a certain honor and privilege that comes with a noble profession such as teaching? Do you know that it is by far one of the most important jobs in the entire world? When you are a teacher, you are also a lawyer, judge, nurse, counselor, role model, agent of socialization, and the person who stands in the doorway between children and their actualization of learning. They can either emerge individuals who are independent and creative thinkers or gullible yes men and sheep. They can either emerge inspired by healthy role models or psychologically damaged from being influenced by dogmatic and unethical adults. They can either emerge tolerant of different lifestyles and people or severely lacking in emotional intelligence, metacognition, and empathy. The Constitution of Guyana declares in Chapter 3901, Section 23, every child required to attend an industrial school or sent there by his parents may be detained by the teacher during the prescribed hours. What kind of teacher do you want to be for your child in those critical hours? The Ministry of Education is aware of the high standard of teachers required for future generation of leaders, so they have established a code of conduct. In Section D of the Teachers Code of Conduct titled Commitment to Students, states that teachers must set an example for the children they are responsible for and promote excellence, patriotism, manners, discipline, and achievement. It highlights that teachers must strive for equality and fairness and not discriminate against students on the basis of color, race, and creed. The school is a way in which students socialize, so they must be encouraged to have tolerance, be understanding, be hungry to learn, and be respectful and courteous to teachers and their peers. The ministry also recommended 8 tips on how to be a good teacher. Examples of those were acting as a role model and self reflection. So, how do you act like a role model to students of different backgrounds, beliefs, and values? Well, in the spirit of promoting unity and a culture free from discrimination, you must also be an individual who lives by this. One example of how your actions considerably affect your students is an article published by Kaicho News in 2020 titled Education Ministry to Probe Discrimination, Bullying of Bishop's Students by Teachers. The article disclosed that the past and present students of the Bishop's High School spoke out against bullying they experienced on the grounds of sexism, homophobia, harsh punishment, and being publicly embarrassed. They claimed that some teachers were not only verbally, emotionally, and mentally abusive to them, but also they left a trail of trauma. In response to the accusation, teachers did something I did not agree with, which was taking a strike action to suspend classes and demanding an apology from the students for speaking up. While I agree that hurting the reputation of teachers is unconscionable, students should feel safe to articulate and challenge certain dysfunctional norms in the school. If we cannot respect students, we are teaching them to disrespect us and each other. The University of Nebraska-Lincoln talks about respect, integrity, concern for students in their article on being ethical in the classroom. The article posited that ridiculing and publicly embarrassing students is inappropriate. You should also care about your students and discuss problems and possible solutions. Finally, you should pride yourself on being consistent, truthful, and transparent. While there are many teachers who embody these values, there are those who fall short and still have more work to do. Walking in your purpose and becoming a teacher can be arguably one of the most selfless things a person can do. There are some who take advantage of the power they possess over impressionable children, while others are cognizant of the impact they will leave on the young minds. When regarding the teaching profession based on the stigma in society, ask yourself this question: what kind of teacher do you want to be, or do you want for your child in those critical hours?